Hey guys, what's going on? Kel back here once again representing the 40 Call YouTube channel, bringing you another Warhammer 40,000 related video. Today we are doing something a little bit different. Today we are having a look back at Warhammer 40,000 through the ages. We're going to cast ourselves back into time and have a look through all the editions of Warhammer 40,000 up to the latest edition. Can't wait to have a look at this. This is going to be like a trip down memory lane. And this is going to be like, I'm going to go off on loads of tangents and talk about like how I got into Warhammer and stuff like that. So if you want to watch this video, stick around. This is going to be a lot of fun. For those of you who are new to 40 Call, we post Warhammer 40,000 content every single day. Things like this, things like news, hints, tips, reviews, paint reviews, rumour engines, all kinds of stuff. So if you're into Warhammer 40,000 in any way, shape or form, subscribe to the channel because we do loads of content and we have lots of fun doing it. So be part of a channel that, one, is all about Warhammer 40,000 and two, is lots of fun. Big shout out to everyone who subscribed to the channel thus far. Almost at 250 subs. Fantastic feeling, guys, for Call and myself. So thank you very much. Keep them coming. Keep the comments coming and keep the likes coming, guys. We can only grow this channel with your support, and you've been nothing but miraculous up to now. So thank you very much, guys. Long may it continue. Anyway, today's video, Warhammer 40,000 through the ages. Can't wait to see this. Let's have a look and see what we got. So with the mighty Indomitus hitting shelves in stores worldwide this weekend, we thought we'd take a look at the long storied history of Warhammer 40,000 box set. But before we do, it would almost be rude not to start off with a legendary forebear to the game itself. September 1987's Rogue Trader. Way back in the 80s, a futuristic war game set in the grim darkness of the far future was about to explode onto the scene. Rogue Trader wasn't a box set, but a tome of lore that laid the foundation of the war-torn galaxy we all know and love. In fact, a few kernels of the classic background have even made a welcome return in recent years. The Amble and Zort have both appeared in expansions for Warhammer Quest, Blackstone Fortress. Oh, and we probably shouldn't forget a little thing called the Horus Heresy that also made an appearance, albeit as a little more than a brief mention. So here we have the 1987 Rogue Trader Warhammer 40,000 with the Crimson Fists on the front. This picture has actually done like a lot of rounds over the years. It's really cool, and it just shows how far like the artwork and things have come in the 33 years that this has been out. I wonder like if some of these still about. Does anyone out there have a copy of this and how good of condition it's in? It'd be great to see one. What's more, the book's cover was graced with one of the most enduring and iconic pieces of Warhammer 40,000 art, depicting the last stand of an embattled company of Crimson Fists against an encircling Orc horde. This classic scene has been lovingly recreated by generations of artists twice since. The most recent example featuring Primaris Space Marines for the first time. And there we are, the old artwork. You can see some of the Orc stuff in the background, heading towards the Crimson Fist is standing on piles of the fallen brethren, getting shot to bits, but they are using the power of the Emperor to fight off this green tide. This is the one that I always remember. This came out a few years after Crimson Fist standing defiant on the pile again. You can see some killer cans in the back, some rockets coming in. Captain with the power fist there, the sergeant, just trying to hold the line, trying to stand against this green tide that's obviously coming in. Bolt of fire coming out left, right, and centre, and the Crimson Fist standing once again on the bodies of the brethren. And here we have the latest one, I believe. Lots of detail again. I like how it went back to the captain holding the Orc's head, waving it above the banner there. The Crimson Fist still trying to push back this green tide against some even bigger killer cans and stuff that's coming in. The Primaris doing the best, firing those bolt rifles into the green mess. I wonder if they ever do survive. I wonder what the story behind that is. It's great, man. Rogue Trader also provided detailed, role-playing orientated rules that embedded all players to bring this gripping new setting to life. It even contained a scenario which let you recreate your own battle between the Crimson Fist and the Orcs, called Battle at the Farm. Next we have October 1993, Warhammer 40,000 2nd Edition. 6 years later, the first dedicated Warhammer 40,000 box set landed as the heir to Rogue Trader. The version of the game was lovingly referred to as the 2nd Edition. Rogue Trader's original roleplay elements had evolved during its lifespan, with various expansions culminating in what eventually became a brand new game system that took the action to the battlefields of the 41st millennium in the form of a full-on tabletop war game. From there, Warhammer 40,000 has never looked back. This was my introduction to Warhammer 40,000. One of my best friends at the time got a copy of this, and we played and played and played. It was great. You had some Space Marines and lots of orcs, and you even had the what do you call it, like the dreadnought, the orc dreadnought thing, but it was a piece of card. It was great. It was like over the top colour. It came with so many bits. You had runes, cardboard runes, which were a nightmare to fold. You had blast markers, blast templates, loads of dice. Oh, you had all kinds. The rules were on cards. I've seen a couple of people still have a copy of this. I wonder if my friend still has a copy of this. If he still has it, I'll be very, very surprised. But yeah, this is my introduction, guys. Throughout the comments, leave lots of comments, guys. When did you get into 40k? What got you into 40k? Which edition? So on and so forth. So the exceedingly vibrant colour palettes of the blast templates and the war gear book may have been an epic assault on the senses, but the box was filled to bursting with everything a budding player could need to learn the game. Cardboard terrain, 2 10-man tactical squads of Space Marines, and a veritable horde of greenskins in the form of Orc Boys and Gretchen were supplemented by dice, templates, reference cards, a rule book, and 2 detailed background books. If it wasn't bad enough that the Space Marines were crucially outnumbered, they also had to face up with one of the most terrifying threats imaginable: a cardboard cut-out Death Dread. It was mental. It was so like mentally drawn and like cartoonly drawn. It was crazy. Next, we came to October 1998, Warhammer 40,000 3rd Edition. The 2nd edition box set had an impressive precedent. However, by the time its replacement arrived 5 years later, the improvements that had been made in miniatures design were apparent from the start. Not only was a new tactical squad feature in the set rendered in far greater detail than before, but they were accompanied by an actual vehicle, no cardboard cutouts this time, in the form of a multi-part land speeder. The Jakari, or Dark Elder as they were known at the time, also made their debut, replacing the Orcs as the adversaries for the Space Marines in the form of 20 Kabalite warriors. This is the first edition that I ever bought. I still have this upstairs. The book, the only thing that I don't have, as you can see in the background, there are like 2 big bits of card that have like how you work out a hit, how you work out a wound, the range of weapons, flamers, all kinds, leadership, and all the phases. I only have one of those left. The other one has just vanished in the annals of time. Don't know where it's gone, but I still have the book. I still have the terrain. I still have the measuring sticks and the speeders and the dice and even the little poxy trees. Everything. This was my first introduction. I painted the Space Marines in Black Templars colours because I fell in love with the artwork of the book. When I have a look at them now, it's great to see how far my own painting skills have come. And the Dark Eldar I painted in, it was kind of like a deep sort of purpley colour with hints of yellow, like yellow stripes and stuff like that. It looks mental. The Dark Eldar models, for those of you who remember it, the one thing that stands out to me, they were so pointy. There was pointy bits everywhere that broke so easily. It was ridiculous. But it was fun. You got a bit of terrain. And the models were far superior than 2nd edition, and it was honestly like a joy to play. I got all the models painted in like a week or 2. And me and a couple of friends just played this to death. One of my other friends got the box as well. So we had like twice as many models. Lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun. By now, Plastic Ruins and Jungle Trees had replaced the card terrain. Similarly, the previous edition's Myriad card explosion markers had been consolidated into 3 see-through plastic templates. 1 each for blast, large blast, and flame weapons. All the better to see what you were blowing to pieces. These templates would go on to become a mainstay of the game and its box set for many years to come. Meanwhile, the large rule book returned to its Rogue Trader roots, combining a detailed background overview of Warhammer 40,000 with the game's full rules in a single tome. Next, we skip forward to October 2004 and the Battle of Macragge. The new millennium welcomed its first new Warhammer 40,000 box set in 2004 with Battle of Macragge. The Tyranids took their turn as antagonists. After all, it was set during the First Tyrannic War. The High Fleet Behemoth invaded the Ultramar system. Remember this? I didn't have this one. Right, how do I explain it? I didn't have this one, but I managed to get my hands on the Space Marines out of the box. Never had the terrain or the Tyranids and stuff like that. But one of my friends purely wanted the Tyranids, wasn't interested in the Space Marines whatsoever, so I managed to get my hands on this. In addition to awesome new terrain in the form of a crashed Imperial aircraft, the rulebook appeared in a smaller softback format. Meanwhile, a separate booklet guided players through the basics of the game over a series of narrative missions that saw a squad of Ultramarines attempting to secure the downed human pilot, Lieutenant Varus, and the invaluable cargo of the gene seed he carried. Next, we go to September 2008 and the Assault on Black Reach. Up next was Assault on Black Reach, which saw the Space Marines facing the Orcs once more. Excuse me. Yeah, this was. I had a copy of this. This was immense to get like so many detailed models in one box. It was great. You had like 3 flies for the Orcs. You got a Dreadnought for the Space Marines. You even got Terminators, which was a fantastic thing. I still have some of these models somewhere. I still have the Terminators and the Orcs. Some of the Orc boys. Where the helicopters have gone is a good question. I might go search and see if I can find them. But yeah, this is a great addition. This set offered a substantial haul of miniatures for both armies, making it not only a cracking way to get started with Warhammer 40,000, but a great foundation for a collection of each faction. This set included HQ units for the first time, powerful leaders in the form of a Space Marine captain and an Orc warboss, as well as a towering dreadnought and even a squadron of Deathcopters. With so much crammed into one box, splitting 2 sets with a friend to double down on one faction's units, while each keeping a copy of the rules became increasingly popular from this edition onwards. Next, 2012, we saw Dark Vengeance. 4 years later, the Dark Angels' hunt for the Fallen took centre stage as they faced off with the Chaos Space Marines renegades known as the Crimson Slaughter in Dark Vengeance. I never had this edition or any models from it. I didn't, and I've never looked at the Chaos stuff to collect, and I've never collected Dark Angels, but I played a few games of this edition. Lots of fun. I know one of my friends at the time who was a big Dark Angels fan was like losing his mind. He absolutely lost his mind when this came out. He was so happy that the Dark Angels stuff was getting its own like detailed models and stuff. So, once again, the set was almost overflowing with miniatures for each army and featured the first appearance of dedicated models for Chaos Cultists, Chosen, and a reimagining of the Chaos Dreadnought of old in the form of a fearsome Hellbrute. But it wasn't all about the Chaos Space Marines. The Dark Angels force included a squadron of Ravenwing and Deathwing in addition to a bespoke tactical unit. Once more, the initial wave of Dark Vengeance sets also included a limited edition miniature of Interrogator Chaplain Seraphicus, which looked like this. This was the Chaplin. This was a great little model. There was lots of people trying to sell this for like ridiculous amounts of money. It still goes for a pretty penny if you can find one new. But it was a great model. Lots of little details on with the knives, the smoke, the banner work on the cloak, plasma pistol. There was a lot of people looking for this really cool model. Still cool to this day actually. Dark Vengeance gets an extra special mention, as when an update to the rules was released in July 2014, it remained in place as the go-to Warhammer 40,000 box set and came supplied with an updated rulebook. Next, we go to 2017 Dark Imperium. The Warhammer 40,000 universe ended a bold new era with the release of Dark Imperium in 2017. The Great Rift had torn open across the galaxy, all but dividing the Imperium in two. Meanwhile, the Avenging Sun had been reborn and returned to Terra, even as his own realm of Ultramar was beset by the fortified forces of his brother Mortarion. The latter being the very setting for the narrative of this incredible box set. And did we mention the emergence of the Primaris Space Marines? So yeah, this is what came out in recent years. You had Inceptors, Intercessors, the Lieutenant, the Captains, the Ancients, and of course the Primaris Captain in Gravis armor. On the other side, you had Fed Blood Drone, you had some Chaos Cultists, Space Marines, and the Lord of Contagion and stuff like that. The Lord of Contagion, for me, is still a great model. Carl had a Lord of Contagion that he did a fantastic job on. It looked really cool. And you will notice as well, this one was the first edition that got rid of those bloody blast template things. Dark Imperium represented a whole new level of miniature design, both in terms of reimagined aesthetics for the Death Guard and the first offerings of some awesome range of Primaris Space Marines. As ever, the set included an impressive selection of units for each of the rival factions, including multiple characters and only a single pre-existing unit in the Plague Marines. The rest were all brand new. And now we come to modern day July 2020 Indominus. And so we come to it at last. Indominus 2020 may have been a troubling year for many of us. But one ray of light amid the gloom has been the arrival of the biggest, most glorious box set we've ever made, which does look bloody impressive. I mean, look how many models you get, guys. It's, I can't even fit them all on the screen. If we've gone through it at length, we've got the new bikes, the Assault Intercessors, the Eradicators, the Blade Guard Veterans, the Blade Guard Ancient, the Judicaire, the Chaplain. And on the other side, we have the Scorpec Lord, Scorpec Destroyers, new Necron Warriors, Scarabs, just all kinds. It goes on and on and on. It's such a good box set. A lot of people, as I'm sure you were, if you're into Warhammer 40,000 and you're on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, you can see how many people are into this, how many people want this edition, and how well I think it's going to sell. Games Workshop, you've done yourselves very proud. The models look really cool, and I just hope that all the releases for this year and up to whenever the next edition is stay the same. But I will say this, Games Workshop, you've given the Space Marines a lot of love over the years. Share the love out between some of the other factions. Give the Tyranids some love. Give the Eldar some love. Give other guys some love, guys. And, put the detail into other factions. At the heart of the box is a stunning selection of units for each army, many of which are totally new additions to their factions, as well as an Indominus Edition core book with cover that's exclusive to the box set. It represents an epic culmination of a long and glorious line of box sets that have heralded the arrival of each edition of Warhammer 40,000 over the years. The awesome thing is, even if you missed out on pre-ordering a copy, you'll be able to pick up a copy of copy in Warhammer 40,000 stores across the world this weekend, or order yours via the exclusive made-to-order offer right now. But that's it, guys. I really enjoyed going through this, looking at some of the old school editions and models and some of the backstory behind some of them. I would love to hear your comments, guys. Me and Carl would love to hear your comments about what got you into 40k. Which of these editions did you have first? Do you still own any now? And what do you think of Indomitus moving forward, guys? Can't wait to read your comments. If you're still here to the end, drop a like on the video. It does the channel loads of good, just hitting one button and supporting the channel. We are 40Call. We post Warhammer 40,000 content every single day, all kinds of stuff. So if you're into Warhammer 40,000 in any way, shape or form, hit the subscribe button, guys. And if your name pops up and we are notified by YouTube, we will give you a shout out on our next video, guys. Can't wait to hear from you all. But that's it. This is going to be Kel signing out for 40Call, saying stay safe, look after each other. Until next time, guys. We'll see you all later.